Hey everyone, we're live inside the community. It feels like it's been a long time. It's not. Um, Super busy last week, crushing it inside a 4-day event. I had 47 coaches registered, and each and every day it was all about filling in your groups, making sure you fill in the groups with the right people. We covered a lot in such a short space of time. And what people got done in that time frame was absolutely crazy. And I just wanted to, like, if you didn't attend, I wanted to share something inside here today just to illustrate and outline like the psychology of what I call the trust ecosystem and why it works so well when it comes to signing clients. And it's not just any clients, like we're talking about paying clients, obviously, but we're also talking about high-ticket clients as well. So let me share my screen and I can quickly just walk you through like why the trust ecosystem is a no-brainer when it comes to assigning clients. But just looking at this as it is, as a system, as an ecosystem, a way to build trust. If you don't understand the psychology behind it, like it'll mean nothing to you, right? It's just something that looks good. It's just something that says like there's somebody says that it works. But when you don't understand the psychology behind it that's built into it, it makes no sense to you. But also it's like, well, so what? It's just like another strategy. So what I wanted to do is like jump in to the psychology behind it. And it's based around what they call the cocktail party effect. Now, I didn't make this up, right? I am not that intelligent to make this up. Like the cocktail party effect has been happening around building trust, humans, right? Building trust, connection, relationship. It's been happening forever and a day. What we do, like we use the cocktail party effect to make the strategy, the trust ecosystem. So like the cocktail party effect is injected inside of this. So let me just share this so you understand it on a deeper level. So have you ever been invited to a cocktail party? It doesn't have to be a cocktail party. You might not be the cocktail party type of guy or girl. But have you ever been invited out to an event, right? Where somebody's invited you, you know the person obviously that's invited you, but you know there's going to be other people there as well that you don't know. And it's like, well, you don't really want to attend, but you don't want to let the person down. They invited you, so it's like, you're just being polite. Okay, well, I'll go. And but again, you don't really want to go, and potentially as well, it's going to be busy. It's going to be noisy. It's going to be crowded. There's going to be a lot of people there, but the person like they invited you, they wanted you to go along to maybe offer them support so they didn't feel lonely or anything like that. So it's like, okay, good friend, good citizen, you're going to attend, right? Um, so you attend and you get there hesitant, you don't know anybody, you're going to stick to your friend, you're just going to show up. Anyway, you get there and you're having a conversation. Obviously, your friend that invited you, they know a couple of people there. So like you're talking to the people that they know. There's a group of you, maybe two or three people, and you're chit chatting, and it's like you're just shooting breeze. But then your friend leaves you because they know the people, and they like kind of they maybe go to the restroom, or they might go to a bar to grab a drink, or they might see somebody that they know, and it's like, oh, I'll be back. I'll just like you're okay. You're just talking to Elizabeth or John or whatever, and I'll see you in a bit. So now you're left by yourself, right? And you're speaking to somebody. And again, you're just shooting the breeze. But then as time goes on, like you get into a deep conversation just naturally as people do. But then other people join to that conversation, and that conversation gets a little bit deeper. And then maybe you overhear your name being mentioned by your friend who's speaking to somebody else. And like that gets your attention. But it's like you're speaking to somebody here, but you can hear your name being mentioned over there. The noise is busy. sorry, the room is busy, the music pumping out maybe, but you can hear your name mentioned over there. So you're engaging in a conversation here, but you can like you're trying to earwig over here, right? Have you ever experienced that? So then you remove yourself from that conversation that you're currently having. I'll be back to you later on. Nice to meet you. And then you move and you go back to your friend, right? They're now they're speaking to somebody else totally different, but your name has been mentioned. So you inject yourself into that conversation and you introduce yourself, right? Have you ever experienced that? Okay, cool. Let me know in the chat if you have. But then as the night progresses, like you're a little bit more relaxed, you've had a drink or two, and you're chit-chatting amongst other people. And then maybe later on in the evening, like the person that you first ever was introduced to early in the evening, now you're maybe speaking to them again, right? So like now they're more familiar with you, you're more familiar with them, the conversation is a little bit more relaxed. Maybe you pick up on the conversation that you started earlier on in the evening. But then as the evening develops, as you become more relaxed, as you are more familiar with other people, like now you are skirting and you're having a lot of conversations with a lot of people, right? You're really enjoying yourself. But then maybe there's a few of you that break away from the party. Maybe you go to a quiet area, maybe you sit down, maybe you get some drinks together, maybe you move to a total different restaurant or event, not event, but maybe a different bar or something. And it doesn't have to be a cocktail party. Maybe it's a coffee chit chat throughout the day. But it's just like you're in a noisy environment where there's other people. But then you go somewhere else and then like you're really having a good time. But as the night progresses, by the end of the day, by the end of the evening, by the end of the event, like you become really attached to somebody that earlier on in the evening, like you never even knew existed, to such a level where you feel really connected. You feel as though you found your soulmate. You're having a laugh. You're getting to know them at a deeper level. And again, you just feel as though you've like there's something that's really connecting with you that you can't really pinpoint. You can't put your finger on, but it just feels so in alignment, and you feel as though you found a new buddy. So much so that maybe you're even exchanging telephone numbers, and it's like the following morning, or even when you get home that evening, like you're sending them a text saying, "Hey, we were really great to get to know you today. Like, if you're around for a coffee sometime in the week, let's get together." So now you're actually meeting somebody that you never knew existed, but you're meeting them on a one-to-one. Have you ever experienced that? Well, that's the cocktail party taking effect. And the reason why it happens, the reason why you can go from feeling uncomfortable in a room, not really wanting to be in a room, but you're showing up in a room because somebody else is wanting your support. So you show up anyway, but then by the end of the evening, like you feel as though you found a new buddy, you found a soulmate, and you're ready to take that relationship to a whole new level. The reason why that's happened is purely and simple through the cocktail party effect. It's because of the touch points. It's because of the conversations that you're having. Everything's in tune with you, what you love, what you don't love. There's just a lot of common denominators that create that connection, right? It's the cocktail party effect. It's how humans connect and always have connected. And this is why the trust ecosystem works every single time, because we've built the cocktail party effect into the ecosystem. So then if it comes, and most people, when it comes to signing clients, sales, marketing, they don't think about like how humans, the psychological effect of how humans connect. They're just looking to generate sales. And that's why a lot of coaches struggle to generate sales. That's why a lot of coaches struggle to even fill events and sell from events, because the trust effect, the ecosystem, is not being injected into their strategy. But when you want to inject this into the strategy, then when you bring people into the conversion event, whether that is a micro event like what I run, or whatever it is that you do, once you inject this into that, then you're bringing qualified people into the ecosystem, if that makes sense. So let me walk you through this, and then you can understand and you can see why the cocktail party effect needs to happen in order to make sales. So first and foremost, if we look at the first step, it's all about spotlighting targeted leads and buyers. So if you just bring 100% of your audience that's struggling with the problem you solve into your ecosystem, 90% of those people inside that you bring into the ecosystem, they're non-buyers. So it doesn't even matter, even if you bring like non-buyers into the ecosystem, just because they get into a position where they trust you, doesn't mean to say that they're going to buy from you. So it's important that from the top, it's important that we bring the right people into the ecosystem. And then you need to have the what I call activation content that's going to grab the attention of the people that you bring into the ecosystem, if that makes sense. There's lots of different levels, types, styles of content. But if you've got the wrong level of content that you're putting into your ecosystem, it's not going to attract the people that you bring into the ecosystem, if that makes sense. So again, that needs to be balanced. That needs to be the level that's going to speak to the people that potentially are already targeted leads and they're looking for a solution, or they already are buyers of people that's already invested in a solution, but they're now looking for something bigger, and they're looking for a real mentor and a coach and a leader in order to help them. So step one, spotlighting buyers. Step two, activating content. And then like we need to be bringing people into conversations, even at a high level. And as you'll find, as we go through the trust ecosystem, it's like it's the connection, it's the conversations, that's the glue that really ties everything together or really sticks everything together. So it's having that first conversation with the people that actually interact with your content, or even people that connect with you on your social media platforms. Then bringing them through into your communities. And then when they're inside your communities, that's when they're really going to start, where you can start really embedding them inside the ecosystem. Your community is the ecosystem. So you're bringing them through into your community. If they already connect with you and they're engaged with your content and engaged with your conversation, then they're going to be interested in joining your community, because everything's a connection. Again, think about the cocktail party effect. If everything is an extension of the content and everything is an extension of what your target spotlight buyers are looking for, then it's going to be a natural progression to want to come into your community. Think about the cocktail party effect. So you're having a conversation with somebody and they say, hey, there's a group of us like moving on to this next bar. Would you be interested in coming with us? Like if that conversation that you know that you're going to be having in that next bar is similar to the conversation they're having already now in this other room, like why wouldn't you want to go? You would go, right? Now, if that conversation, if there's a disconnect, you wouldn't go. You wouldn't go. So by making sure everything is stacked up, then people would want to join your community. Again, the cocktail party effect happening. So once they join your community and they answer your 3 entry questions to enter your community, the second question is designed to grab their email address, designed to get some attention. Sorry, not attention, some data. So then once they give you that data, you can actually put that data inside your campaigns. So you can actually start building your email list as well. So they're receiving emails from you, so you can nurture them that way as well. Again, it's part of the ecosystem. And then you can tag them in a video that's pinned to the top of your Facebook community. Why do we have this? Again, it's another touch point. Remember the cocktail party effect. Like when people are walking around the room, they're having different conversations with the different people, but then they come back and they have a conversation with the same people. It's another touch point. The more touch points they have with the same people, the more familiar they become of those individual people. So now they're getting to know them very, very quickly and very easily as well. It's like a natural progression how people build that connection, if that makes sense. So by tagging them in a short welcome video, it's another touch point where they can see you, experience you and hear you and get to know a little bit more about you in such a short space of time. And then from there, again, jumping back into Messenger to maybe welcome them into the community, let them know that you've just tagged them underneath a welcome video. That's a great place to start. But then also offer them something else that might be really relevant to something that they want to maybe consume, listen, learn about, something that you created inside the community where you can just maybe, drop them a link to access that. So again, you can see that the conversation again is a glue that sticks everything together. Now, what we're doing here as well is we're controlling the experience. Most people, and you've probably experienced this yourself, well, right, where people invite you into their community, but then once you're inside their community, you just feel as though like you're left to defend for yourself. You don't really know what it is that you should be doing once you're inside. Well, that's no good, because most people that's left to their own devices, they just leave the community because, well, like what should they do when they're in? So they leave the community and they never come back. Well, as you're the host of the community, it's up to you to direct the conversation and also create that experience. So that's what we're doing inside the second message, is like we are creating the experience and we're creating the touch points and we're controlling the things that's going to keep them inside the community. Likewise, when you go to an event, like the host of the event isn't just going to expect you to turn up to the event and just defend for yourself. Like a real host of an event, they're going to introduce you, they're going to introduce you to somebody else, they're going to warm up that conversation with you, and then they're going to leave, right? They want you to have a good experience. Again, it's the cocktail party effect. If everybody just turned up and the host didn't introduce you to somebody, at least 3 people, and they just left you to your own devices, imagine everybody just left to their own devices. It's like, well, one, it would be really, really rude, right? But 2, everybody would just be standing there feeling a little bit uncomfortable, not knowing everybody, sat around or whatever, just mingling. And that's not the way to host any type of an event. A real host would introduce you, like welcome you. And so like that's part of the conversations, that's part of the cocktail party effect. That's what we do. Like we make sure that everybody has a good experience. So then once you've given them something, potentially something else that they might want to watch, consume, that's also inside the community. And it might be something like this, right? You can either send them a direct link to watch that, or you can tag them underneath that, or you can do both to make sure that they've got access to that. So as you can see there, that's like another touch point, right? And again, you can see all these touch points just like stacking up on top of each other. So very, very, very quickly, they're getting to know you. Like, and this can happen within a few hours. Most people, when it comes to try to build relationships online, they're not understanding this at all. They don't know this is like how humans connect. So they say like, well, like people don't really trust me. I feel as though people are not buying from me because they don't trust me. Well, people will never get to trust you if you can't provide the experience, what they need to experience for them to quickly understand who you are, what you do, and get to that position where they trust you. As you take them through this trust ecosystem, you can see how we quickly can compound on top of each other, all the small touch points, to where they very quickly feel at ease with you. They're having a good experience with you already, because you're controlling what they should be doing. And then once they've experienced or seen something else, you can jump back into a conversation. Now this conversation at this point can jump deeper, right? You can have a deeper conversation with them, and the prospect would also, or the new group member would also feel comfortable to have a deeper conversation with you, because you've already showed trust, you've already built trust, you've already provided an amazing experience that potentially they've never experienced anywhere else. So just let me know if this totally makes sense with you. And again, I should have potentially promoted this so you could be here and you could be watching me live while I'm taking you through this. So if you're watching this on a replay, just let me know. Comment underneath if you've got any questions around what I'm sharing with you. And again, just drop those underneath here. And you can tell that I didn't like have any didn't prepare this on a Monday morning, Monday afternoon, because I'm just showing up casual, just with my joggers on. So where are we now? So again, we're jumping back into conversations, and at this point, you can say, "Hey, look, I don't know if you're interested, but because you've liked everything that I've showed you so far, this next week, I'm having a 4-day event. I'm having a micro event. I'm having a 3-day event where I'm helping a few people to with XYZ, fill in the blank, right? Would you like to come and work with me for free over the 4 days?" So because everything is an extension of everything, if that makes sense, and that'll make more sense to you if you attended my 4-day event last week. Like it will be a no-brainer for them to say, "Wow, really? Like you've already helped me so far, and now you're willing to bring me onto an event where you're potentially going to work with me with other people for free." Like it's a no-brainer. Yeah, I'd love to come. So then you can just, if they're interested, if they accept that invitation, you can just invite them to a Zoom registration page where they can read the details on the event. And if it's in tune with what it is that they want, which it will be, then they'll obviously register their name and email address on that event page, registration page. You can then bring them into what I call a community chat hub where all attendees or all registered attendees come into one messenger chat, which is really, really cool. It's a lot of fun as well. So now it's like it's no longer just you one-on-one. They can see other people. It's also attended this registered for the event as well. And you're inviting people and you're welcoming people on a daily basis into the chat room. And it just elevates the synergy, the energy amongst everybody. It's no longer for them. There's a community of people, provides social proof, and then you can inform everybody collectively. So it's easy for you to manage and run the event as well, and communications with everybody. You can drop voice notes in there, text in there, short videos in there. So again, another touch point, right? And again, if you understand the psychology of how humans connect socially, if there's more people than one, it just adds that social proof for yourself. So again, cocktail party effect happening in real time. And then when the event runs, then everybody collectively goes onto the event. By the time of the end of the event, like you've just taken them through the total flow of the trust ecosystem, where they're in what you call like the buying pocket of potentially ready to work with you and also invest in you. So like that is in a nutshell what you really want to be embedding into your strategy moving forward in 2026. 2026 is going to be a total game changer in terms of what you'll need to do in order to sell, not just to get paint like low paint clients, like to get high paint clients. You'll need this in place. Like the marketplace is a lot more sophisticated today than ever before. And if you don't have this injected into your strategy, it might not be micro events, right? Your conversion mechanism, whatever it may be, it might be something else. But if you don't have the cocktail party effect, if you're not building up on the cocktail party effect, if you don't have a trust ecosystem underneath or built into your conversion event, then just bringing cold people onto your event, sales event, and expecting the sales event to do the heavy lifting, you're going to struggle because people need the touch points more so today than ever before. They've been burnt. The marketplace is already sophisticated. It's already noisy. They've already invested a lot of money. Like my clients, when they come to me, they've already invested 30, 40, 50K, 60K, some, right, in coaches. So they're not just going to rock up at an event and allow that event to do all the heavy lifting. They need all the touch points. You need to tick all the touch points in order for them to be in a position to comfortably, right, have that conversation with you, to trust you, to have confidence in you, certainty in what it is that they're investing in, and that conviction in themselves that, well, if I do invest in this, because we've had all these touch points and you've built trust, they're ready to be in that spine pocket to potentially invest in you. But moving forward, like if you don't have this, it's going to be a hard slog. It's going to be a real hard slog. Like this needed to be invested into your business last year. So if you don't, you're already playing catch up. So make sure moving forward, you've got this injected into your business. So I wanted to jump in here because this has been a big part of the Fill Your Group 4-day challenge that we had last week. We covered part of this. We didn't cover all of this. But like, this is where it starts. This is where it starts here. So if you really want to make 2026 the year, and whether you want to do 10K months, 20K months, you want to hit your first 100K in sales this year, maybe you've already hit 100K, but it's like kind of plateaued off and you don't have a real structured system, like an ecosystem like this injected into your business, and you want to do your second 100K, 200K this year, then start building this out because it's just going to make it a lot easier for you. If you want to have a conversation with me or to potentially look at what this might look like, to work with me inside the sales room to help you to inject this into your business quick so you can start running with this, then just reach out to me. Either drop a comment underneath this live, maybe eco. Oh, no, let's do this. Trust, right? As a keyword, comment trust underneath here and I'll reach out to you. We'll have a conversation. Maybe schedule a call if it seems to fit. Or if you want to come on to my next event, which I'm going to be running, I'm actually in pre-planning mode right now. So if you want to come on to my next event, just comment event underneath here as well. And I'll add you to the list of people that I'll invite you to register. But if you want to jump that queue and just schedule a call with me because you've already been on an event, then let's get that scheduled in and let's see if it makes sense for us to potentially do something together. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, have an amazing afternoon, amazing day, and I'll speak to you soon.